We're just getting ready to go do a retracement survey up in a small community called Byers Lake. It's minus 15 degrees Celsius, about 5 Fahrenheit. A retracement is when a property owner just wants to find their boundaries, get them reestablished. They exist, they just can't find them. Well, we made it to site, and it's just absolutely unbelievable. There's over a foot of snow here compared to down Tatamagouche, where there's absolutely nothing. The grant sheets will have an index indicating on the deed what their chainage is. So a chainage, one chain equals 66 feet, will have a distance going along the back of their lot, the top, and the sides. And we'll use those with the evidence we find on the ground to go search for more evidence. This is a full grant that was given to a settler by the Crown in the late 1700s, early 1800s. It's been completely untouched from a survey perspective. The surveying instrument's set up, good to go. So this is a road along here. Our property's on the south side of it. And we have a bunch of survey markers as shown by this existing plan on the opposite side. So we're gonna tag those, dig them out. So we found that survey marker in good shape. We'll write in our diary that it was found. Well, we found everything opposite of our property along the road, so it's time to head into the bush. So we're just walking down along the southern edge of this property here, and we're starting to pick up a blaze line. Kind of knew I was going to find blazes just because looking at the satellite imagery, there was a recent clear cut that was a perfect line. I just walked more than enough distance along this southern boundary, picking up blazes the whole way, kept going, and couldn't find a corner. And I went beyond it just to make sure it wasn't passed. So now we're going to do a zigzag pattern along this southeast boundary to see if we can locate anything and get to this corner. We're just constantly scanning trees, looking for blazes, paint, ribbon, anything that could be pointing us in the right direction. And everything looks like a blaze when you're looking for them. So this is an old blaze, and they're super hard to spot when they're hardwood like that and grown over. Sometimes that can be a tree rub, a piece of equipment could rub up against it, but we check on the other side and there's even some red paint. So this is definitely a blaze. And then you just start hitting them. It's normal to cover ground multiple times when looking for survey evidence. You don't give up your first try. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You can even see the paint. Following this blaze line, we found a survey marker. Nothing makes a surveyor smile more than that. I only assume that this is a Scott paper pin, and their deed descriptions will likely reference that pin number, 4000. They used to have their own survey crews, and they would set their pins back in the day. Now that we found this survey marker here, we're going to pull the deed distance of 321 meters until we get to this corner. This is almost snowshoe territory. Didn't end up finding that corner and just ended up doing a 2-kilometer slog through the woods until I got back out to the main road. So it's getting to that point of the day that I've been walking for about 4 hours straight. I don't have any water with me, and I'm starting to hear things. So we walked along here, found a bunch of blazes, which was great. Didn't find a corner pin here. So what we had to end up doing is searching this area, came up inconclusive. So now we have to build the puzzle. So we went up here and we did find blazes along here. So when we come back next day, we'll do some calculations in the office and we'll offset this boundary, which we found blazes, their deed distance, and this boundary, which we found blazes, this deed distance, and it might give us a margin of error, but we'll know, we'll have a better idea of where to search. Back on the property, day 2. We've done half a day of additional research and calcs in the office. Also ordered some of the original land grant maps. This one was done in 1866. I'm going to set up the equipment and pick up where we left off, back up the mountain. There's easily 2 feet snow in spots now. We're on this dividing line now, and we're just going to be going in a zigzag pattern up the hill until we hit something. When you're in a forest that has all young growth or regeneration, you want to keep your eye out for something old, tall, might even be dead, like a stump. Foresters sometimes they'll high cut a blaze so the tree doesn't blow over. And this is what we're looking for here. So this is an old stump that's been cut off or blown down. We potentially have a side blaze. Another clue in these large forest lots, when you come across a change in forest stance such as this. Once again, I found another grandfather clock of a tree in the woods. Amongst all the youngins, this one could tell a story. Well, that one paid off. We have some green paint on this that matches the same paint down at the road. Now that we've found this blaze, we can stake this line out relative to that blaze, be it a little further to the north or to the south, and keep looking for more evidence in our typical zigzag pattern. We're not establishing anything today. We're just picking up evidence. We'll produce a plan at a later date, set survey markers, and cut out the lines and blaze them. I came across a cabin, didn't expect to find one up here. There's a name on it. I'll cross-reference that with the Registry of Deeds, find their address. If I can contact them through Facebook, I will, or let them know we're doing a survey in the area and find out if they have any knowledge of the boundaries. Not long ago, I had a survey about an hour from here, and I knocked on the neighbor's door, and they were able to produce a plan, and we're continuing to find them along that middle line. Now we're on the back northern line. Can't find anything. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cross this river in hopes that they didn't log the other side and there might be some evidence. Mind you, this boundary was originally established pre-1900, and if they didn't log it, they may not have renewed the boundary blazes. We didn't find anything here. We did find blazes though along that line. Now we're going to zigzag along this area here. That search came up inconclusive. So that about wraps it up for the initial field portion for this project.